For decades and decades, we've seen failures in the gaming industry, and really this applies to entertainment in general. Whether it's a bad game or a bad movie, whether it's marketed poorly, the release date didn't make sense, or where people just didn't like the game or movie that was presented to them. That happens. That's something that happens and has happened since the beginning of these industries. But in the recent years, it's become far too commonplace to, instead of looking inward and saying, hey, what did we do wrong? Why did this game fail? Instead, these companies, these corporations, or the people involved with the production of these games want to blame the fans. It's your fault for not liking it. It's your fault for not buying it. You're the reason that this game failed, not anything that we did. It couldn't possibly be that fans didn't like the game. It couldn't possibly be that this didn't appeal to people and it was jammed full of progressive identity politics that people are sick of. No, it's you, the customer's fault. And once again, we're seeing that when it comes to Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, Veilguard, despite the media trying to spin for this game upon its release, was a massive historic failure for BioWare. A game that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, a game that had nearly a decade worth of development. And of course, EA was forced to admit that the game was a failure, that it was a flop for them. And they tried to make some excuses like, well, maybe it failed because we didn't have any live service elements. No, that's not why it failed. People didn't like it. People didn't like the game. And now one of the stars, one of the actors involved with Dragon Age: The Veilguard, is taking the blame for that failure and putting it solely on the fans. Dragon Age actor blames fans for Veilguard backlash, claims people just wanted to see BioWare fail. Yeah, I'm sure people just, they don't want any good games out of BioWare. They just want to see BioWare fail. There's no way that people would love if BioWare returned to their roots, to the early days of Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic and even the early Dragon Age games. Yeah, people don't want good games. They just want to see BioWare fail. What a ridiculous premise. What people want to see is BioWare right the ship. That's what people want to see. But when it comes to a game like Dragon Age: The Veilguard, it was anything but that. Dragon Age: The Veilguard actress defends game, says people wanted BioWare to fail. People were attacking the game before it was released. That's a different element we're going to get into. The idea that the trailers for the game, that the marketing for the game, that the media circuit that people go on, early reviews, the idea that nobody should judge those things, that's why they're out there. They're out there to generate excitement. That's why you put out trailers. That's why you put out concept art. That's why you put out all these things, because you're trying to get people to want to buy your game. Well, sometimes if you put out shit and people aren't excited for it, they're also going to voice their opinions. That's the purpose of the marketing, you dumb bitch. But anyway, let's get into it. One of the stars of the recent Dragon Age title and several other big video games have spoken out of the negative reaction to Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The actress says the hate comes from those people who only wanted to see the game or BioWare fail. Alex Wilton Regan played the female Inquisitor in both Dragon Age Inquisition and The Veilguard. She also starred in Mass Effect 3, Cyberpunk 2077, and Phantom Liberty. Speaking with IGN about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, she said she was absolutely devastated. The game didn't sell as well as expected and received so much backlash, despite most critics' reviews ranging from quite good to excellent. Wow, strange. Access media loved the game. Fans hated it. Where have we seen that before? The contrast is illustrated on Metacritic, where Veilguard has a critic review score of 82 and a user score of 3.9. I feel absolutely devastated for BioWare as a studio that they got such mixed reactions to the game. I personally thought it was really strong. It was just BioWare being more BioWare. Well, it might be modern BioWare. It's not the BioWare that everybody loved 20 years ago. That's just the reality. I also think a lot of people kind of wanted to see it fail, or wanted to see BioWare fail, either because they're really just bad people on the internet, of which there are unfortunately many, as we've discovered. And these are the things you have to start arguing, that, oh, this game flopped, this game failed, this game sold millions and millions and millions fewer copies than we need. Are you saying that those millions and millions of people that didn't buy it, they're all just really bad people? That's the reason, they're just bigots. That's why they didn't buy our game. Do you realize how ridiculous this sounds when you start putting all of the blame on this? Maybe people didn't like what they saw. Maybe from that first trailer reveal that looked more like a fucking Fortnite season than it did a Dragon Age game, maybe people didn't like it. Maybe once they started seeing clips of the game flying around. You can say all you want about very bad people, but once people saw the clips that were out there, the insane non-binary trans storyline bullshit that was forced upon everyone. Once they realized that it's not really an RPG, you can't really choose how you interact with these people. Maybe that is why people didn't want it. And I saw Eric Kane tweet this out in response to the idea that people were judging it before it even came out. Well, here you go. Actually, you can judge a game before it's released because you could see the art style, watch the trailers, read interviews and previews about a gameplay and story, spot the mini-maze that may have diverted from previous releases in the franchise, etc. Yeah, obviously. That's what trailers are for. It's for you to judge. And from the company's perspective, hopefully, to generate excitement and interest. It didn't do that. It did the opposite. And Dragon Age the Veilguard was a massive total flop. And now, right, now you have, once again, as we've seen so often across all aspects of the entertainment industry and the gaming industry, you have someone involved with the game saying, well, we made a fantastic game. The fans are just haters. It's their fault it failed. Go fuck yourself, sincerely. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.